So welcome everyone, welcome to the Miracles Healing Open Sessions, and it's great to continue today with, today we're focusing on the idea of free will and do that in different ways. One of them is using A Course in Miracles specifically to discover what it actually means, free will. And the other part is an experiment that we find ourselves in the middle of, a neuroscientific experiment called the Libet experiment. So we use that to come to some interesting facts measured by science to see that something is going on, like with perception and free will, like how does that actually work? And specifically, of course, with A Course in Miracles too, free will, like it's shared in the first paragraph. So, the other part, because otherwise I have to really bring it up now. So the other part that we're going to do is first the meditation. Now this meditation has everything to do with free will too. And it's the completion of free will, or the complete acceptance of the free will that you have to voluntarily join your will with God's. And that, I think, is a great way to contemplate. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read a specific part from the chapters, and then we will be quiet for 5 minutes or so, and then I'll read it again and have another break, have another pause, so that you can do a couple of things. And one of them is just becoming present, just releasing everything else, letting go of what was so important a moment ago, or what is so occupying your mind right now. So we use that to release that. Then the other part is that actually something is given you. If you can receive that for yourself and recognize it in yourself, then you have like restored your clarity in this, specifically around the idea of free will. So the opposite of free will would be like determinism, as a human division would be made like that. Like it's either free will or it's determined. Everything is already determined, or is there free will? And so that it is not that altogether. So let's be quiet with that and discover. Because this is literally, now it's presented to you as the whole idea of free will, in a sense that this is the way it actually works. So we start with that, and then we dive deeper into different other things regarding the free will. All right, so I open it up and get it ready for us. Your free will. Awaking unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will. Awakening unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will. Awakening unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will. And out of quiet recognition of the truth in them, awakening unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will, and out of the quiet recognition of the truth in them. Awakening unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will, and out of quiet recognition of the truth in the laws of love. The attraction of light must draw you willingly, and willingness is signified by giving. The attraction of light must draw you willingly, and willingness is signified by giving. Those who accept love of you become your willing witnesses to the love you gave them, and it is they who hold it out to you. Awakening unto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will and out of quiet recognition of the truth in them. The attraction of light must draw you willingly, and willingness is signified by giving. Those who accept love of you become your willing witnesses to the love you gave them, and it is they who hold it out to you. Giving and receiving are one in truth, like it's the same thing. You give it, in your giving it, you receive it. The attraction of light must draw you willingly, and willingness is signified by giving. Those who accept love of you become your willing witnesses to the love you gave them, and it is they who hold it out to you. So this is exactly what is going on right here, right now. You are giving this to me. All the love you give to me, I give to you. All right. So this is like the fulfillment of the free will to join wholeheartedly with the laws of love, because you're attracted to it in such a way that this is what you want. There's no conflict in that. So that's great. That was a beautiful, piece from chapter 12 in the Urtext of A Course in Miracles. So we're looking at more expressions about free will, because that's really going to reveal something to us. So I will not wait with bringing that up right now. Free will or free won't? That's the question. Well, that's a title that's connected to something that's coming up in a moment. It is crucial to say first, this is the first, very, very first paragraph from A Course in Miracles. Chapter 1, first paragraph. It is crucial to say first that this is a required course. Well, we know this. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum, like that's already said. It means only that you can elect what to take when. It is just because you are not ready to do what you should elect to do that time exists at all. Now, this is of course a very interesting expression altogether. Like, free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take when. Like, in other words, you can do it or not right now, or you can do it later. Or you can decide not to do it now and wait for something and then decide to do it. This is very basic, what I'm sharing here. The curriculum for your awakening is already set. God's plan for salvation is at work. But it's up to you when you want to take what. And the fact that you think you have a choice is just because the fact that you think you have a choice is the only reason that time exists. Okay, so that's a deep one. the only reason that time exists is that you believe there's such a thing as delay. Like if you would align with truth itself, you would have to make no choice. It is right here, and it will always be right here. And you follow up on what it tells you to do, so to speak, not because you're a willing servant, no, because you're one with Source. There's no delay in time. There's an instantaneous communication because you communicate as one with what you are. Of course, like there's no consideration to be made. This is the wholeness of you in your experience of yourself. Directly. And nothing else. Like that is the thing that is happening when you wake up. You come into the direct flow of this, of the direct extension of the love that you are. You don't have to think about that. It is what is happening. So the only reason that time exists is that you believe that you can delay things, and you don't want to do that now. You're going to pick that up later. You're going to first go through something, who knows what, a detour into fear. You come back and you say like, okay, I want to learn this lesson now. That's the idea of free will, is then your choice to come to the, yes, I want to do it now, or I don't want to do it now. It's the reason why time exists. So that's huge. Well, there are more expressions with free will, and they are actually very helpful to hear too. Free will is the attribute of the mind, not of the soul. Why not? Soul always remains changeless because it never leaves the side of God. Like it's in direct communication with God. The soul is in direct communication with God. It's one. It is you as your soul, like in your soul self, extending yourself. So very fundamental. Free will is the attribute of the mind, like the mind can choose yes or no later. And this. And you are the one turning that switch in every moment, in fact. Turning the switch, yes, no, maybe, later. But the soul doesn't know anything about it. It's just radiating. It stays in changelessness. While he's in the body, however, man can choose between loveless and miraculous channels of creativity. So there's another thing with choice. That was also the theme of this week, like choices, making choices. Well, here's one, between loveless and miraculous channels of creativity. He can create an empty shell, but he does not create nothing at all. Like you can create an illusion when you choose to, say, apply the loveless channel, or you come to the miraculous channel. We saw this before in consciousness levels, like consciousness levels of there's a subconscious level, there's a conscious level. It's this, you're aware that I'm talking to you. At least I'm hoping that. You're here, okay, you pay attention, you're here. This is your conscious part. Now, at the same time, there's a subconscious part that wants things. Oh, I need candy right now. I need this, I need that. Oh no, superficial desires and wishes, yeah, right? So they're not continuously conscious, but suddenly you have this like snack attack, and there it is. So now it comes into your awareness. It becomes part of that. Now these, say, superficial level of impulses are ego-directed. They are always needy, like it needs something. Oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, I need to do this, I need to do that in order to be comfortable. I'm so busy with that. No, it's so important. So this is like what you do. This is what you do with your subconscious. Now, down below that is the miraculous channel, conscious. The storehouse of miracles is the miracle impulses that are basically always covered by the ego-based, loveless desires and all this, thoughts, subconscious thoughts. But here's the moment you open up, you're drawn to light, you're drawn to restfulness, a little bit deeper in your awareness, in your consciousness. So this subconscious, miraculous impulse comes to the surface. And this can create loveliness and beauty and who knows what, like loveliness to your brother, entering into a holy instant, joining with the will of God, and this. So this on the side, I wanted to say that. So this basically always goes beyond the physical level. He can wait. Yeah, this is what a human being can do. He can wait, delay, paralyze himself, reduce his creativity to almost nothing, and even introduce a real developmental arrest or regression. Like you can go deeply into a depression, you can deeply go into a numbness, into I don't know what to do with myself. But he cannot abolish his creativity. He's still creative. Even in that phase, he's still creative. He creates something that has no value to him, and it's not constructive, in other words. It's illusory, but he's still making it. He can destroy his medium of communication, like the body. He can destroy the medium of communication, but not his potential. So you have a potential. You have a potential of creating. Like potential, not necessarily in creating something. The potential that we're talking about here is in fact a continuation. Yeah, you could easily say it like it is coming from the sea of spirit. It is not necessarily a potential in order to achieve something. No, in fact, it is like coming into the direct flow of expression and the direct recognition with spirit and the direct flow of divine creativity through you, the experience of your creative passion through you. See, I go a bit deeper into this because then eventually it will become very clear what free will is. He was not created by his own free will, like you did not make yourself. Only what he creates is his to decide. The basic decision of the miracle-minded is not to wait on time any longer than necessary. Time can waste as well as be wasted. There are also some definitions which I ask you, Jesus says, to take from the dictionary, which will be helpful. Project. It's a verb, like to extend forward or out. Projection. Project, a project, a plan in the mind. World, a natural grand division. Okay, why is this important? You see in a moment. The soul, because of its own likeness to its creator, is creative. Makes total sense. No child of God is capable of losing this ability because it is inherent in what he is. You can never lose it. That's why it cannot fade away. Like you always keep the potential of this. You can't lose it. The world, in its original connotation, included both the proper creation of man by God and the proper creation by man in his right mind, like your original state. The latter, the right mind, man, required the endowment of man by God with free will, because all loving creation is freely given. Here's the origination of free will. Free will was originated in the idea that God wants to give you everything, also the freedom, the free will to extend, to project love. The history of man in the world as he saw it has not been characterized by any genuine or comprehensive reawakening or rebirth. This is impossible as long as man projects in the spirit of miscreation. It still remains within him to project as God projected his own spirit to him. In reality, this is his only choice, because his free will was made for his own joy in creating the perfect. Well, this is the important question of the important sentence. In reality, this is his only choice, because his free will was made for his own joy in creating the perfect, not anything else. See, this is what I wanted to share, because the last sentence is absolutely important. In him, in reality, this is his only choice, because his free will was made for his own joy in creating the perfect. Like in your dream, that's where that goes wrong, because you use your free will, in fact, to hurt yourself, to delay, to decide against what is creating the perfect. And this is what you do as a human being. That's why it hurts. That's why that never works. That's why that always comes back to you. The delay, like time is what pain is. Time is what fear is. Time is what conflict is. Time is what lack and limitation is. Time is what sickness is. Time is like all of this is related to the idea you are delaying, literally delaying your homecoming. God gave you your free will to extend like him and to create the perfect. For your joy is that given. So this is an essential transformative miracles healing expression. That would be the way to say it in this meeting. So it's like that is so good to keep close to yourself. Like, oh yes, my free will is given to me for my joy, for creating the perfect. Now, creating the perfect doesn't need my considerations or my ideas. So creating the perfect is opening to, say, the guidance that is given to extend and to project and to give. And just as we started with the meditation, like that's an essential part in it. Like it's totally that. Now you see that this is your free will. This is given to you. Everything that you learn, for instance, in Course in Miracles with doing the lessons, is to consciously not delay your homecoming, but continuously allow yourself to be attracted to the light, attracted to release, attracted to let go, instead of making time to stretch your homecoming. So this is why this is a celestial speed up. See, now it all starts to make sense when you look at it, like it's all coming together. And all this, what we're looking at, how beautiful is that? We started on Sunday with Joel, ideas of choice, of what is going on here. The whole idea of development of consciousness. How do we do this? How did we get into this? Now here you see, like now we come to the actual, almost like on a DNA level, this is the choice you make as a human being. You delay. That's your free will, to delay, to say like, not now. So nothing can be given to you against your will. Like that is impossible. Truth will not do that. And no, it gently waits. And it patiently waits and waits and waits until you are ready to not delay. The rest is all taken care of, but we wait for you. So you can speed that up by actually starting to laugh about this, because it's like you're going to be given the greatest gift ever. Nothing in the world can come close to it. And here you are in your self-conception of yourself with an idea that you have a really good reason to delay this process. Doesn't make sense, does it? Now the next part, and this is to bring it back to planet Earth. We're in the lab today, in the lab of Monsieur Libet. I don't know if it's a Frenchman, but it sounds pretty French. The Libet experiment. And I found a little video that will tell you exactly what happens. Now, to give you already a heads up about where this is about, because it might not be completely clear right away, it is like this. It's neuroscience. So in other words, we have our sensors on our head, because we think, as human beings, we think that our consciousness is in our brain, because that's where things are happening and we have no idea what. And so, okay, we dive into that, we align ourselves with the scientists and look over the shoulder today. If I spontaneously pick up my glasses, they see that before I have the idea, my brain already is active. It's like in a higher state of activity. They can measure it, even before I got the idea. And so now, of course, the whole procedure is there. Okay, I pick it up and it is accomplished. I have it in my hand. And there's a motoric movement here. And so this is a bit what Mr. Libet, or Mrs. Libet, I don't even know, discovered. And that has some consequences. We're going to take a look at that. But first, so this is related to free will too. It's like if there's brain activity before a spontaneous idea comes to me, what is that? Is that still me? Or is it something else that determines what I'm going to do? Or what is going on?
Put your hand in front of you and flex your wrist. You presumably first had a thought. Flex my wrist. That then caused your wrist to move. That's how it seems. But Benjamin Libet's experiments in the 1980s have cast some doubt on that. In his neuroscience lab, he wired up subjects to an EEG machine measuring brain activity via electrodes on their scalps, and then asked them to choose to perform a simple hand movement when they felt like it. He also got them to record the time at which they made a conscious decision to move their hands. Disconcertingly, he found evidence of brain activity initiating the movement hundreds of milliseconds before the conscious decision was reported. In other words, his experiments seemed to show that the conscious decision didn't cause the movement. The brain activity bringing about movement started before the individual willed anything to happen. Some people think this is proof that free will is an illusion, that our conscious decisions are more like reports on what is already happening than the causes of our action. Libet didn't go that far. He thought that we might not have free will, but there's still time for what some have called free won't, a conscious veto of an action that is started in the brain. Others are more skeptical about the implications of these experiments. They point out difficulties of recording the time of a subjective decision to move, and question whether Libet's findings could apply to more complex conscious decisions based on reasons, such as the decision to reject the claim that Libet's experiments undermine our idea of free will.
That was funny. I love it. It was great. So here's a lot of work now to connect this to what we've just read. Good luck. Okay, thank you. So I did a bit of preparation. I'm going to share something with you. It's my little script that I hold on to now tightly. So here's our, you remember this thing is the open sessions, Miracles Healing open session in-depth reader. So we go to the bottom, our last, it's like free will or free won't. That's the question. Free will or free won't? The Libet experiment. Well, we saw this experiment. There's your unconscious. There's the idea of, hey, there's the idea. I'm gonna ring a bell. I make a conscious decision here. I'm going to ring a bell. And there it goes. My hand goes down and there's my action. So I'll read it to you. Libet's results showed the following timing leading to a profound philosophical conclusion. Started on average about 550 milliseconds before the movement was the RP onset. RP onset. But before that, there was a subconscious idea. There was brain activity. Conscious intention was reported about 200 milliseconds before the movement. So first there is the spontaneous subconscious activity, then there's the idea coming into consciousness, there's the conscious decision, and there's the actual movement. Do you know what I'm saying? The conclusion of Mr. Libet was the crucial finding was that 350 millisecond gap where the brain had already begun the process of initiating the movement before the subject was consciously aware of their decision or intention to act. This was widely interpreted to suggest that the conscious will is not the true cause of action. Instead, the brain unconsciously initiates the action, and the conscious feeling of having decided to act appears later, too late to be the initiator. This led many to conclude that free will is an illusion. While the results were taken as evidence against free will, Libet himself, Benjamin Libet, himself proposed a slightly different interpretation to save a form of freedom, the concept of free won't instead of free will. The veto power. Although the unconscious RP started the process, Libet noted that the conscious will appears about 200 milliseconds before the action is finalized. He argued that the conscious mind has a window of opportunity to exercise a veto, a kind of power to stop the pre-initiated movement. In this view, conscious free will doesn't initiate the voluntary action, but it retains the power to select or block actions that are bubbling up from the unconscious. Now here we can make a connection. In this view, conscious free will doesn't initiate the voluntary action to connect with God, to say, yes, I want the will of God, but it retains the power to select or block actions that are bubbling up from the unconscious. The curriculum is already set, right? The curriculum is already set. We saw this in the Course in Miracles, first paragraph. The curriculum is already set. But you can decide what to take when. So this is the free won't instead of the free will. The free won't, like I won't accept it now, but I will do that later. Not now. I'm not going to accept that now. It's a free won't. It is my free will to not accept this right now. Now this is really great. So this is why I put this in here. Like here it comes together. And see, what am I looking for? I'm not looking for anything specifically. It is just fun for me to see that some experiments are being done. And when you come to the purity of the expression of free will, like given to us by Jesus in the Course in Miracles, you see that there is a connection, of course, like in the end, everything is connected. What science is discovering is already known in whole-mindedness, of course. Like, there's nothing new in that sense. You cannot invent something new, really. So it's always fitting into, it always fits into coming to the realization of your wholeness. Everything is going that direction, whether one wants it or not, whether you believe there's a God or not. That is still happening. You can't avoid it, since literally this is past. This is gone. This is over. You are home in heaven. Now you're looking back at how that came about. If you need to go on a rocket to Mars for that, you do that. If you need to put out 20,000 satellites to have some world communication going on, in order to discover that isn't it either, that's fine too. You see, the universe is giving everything to everyone. Like, there's no good or bad in it. It is just like the thing that it says in the first paragraph. I'll pull it up, because that's this. Sorry that it takes so long, because I have to do this thing here. It is crucial to say first that this is a required course. It's great, huh, that sentence. This is just for you. It is crucial to say first that this is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. In other words, you can delay, and you do. You delay as long as you believe there's time, there's delay. As long as you believe you have a choice in the matter, there's time. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. No, there is a total accomplishment in the totality of your being, because you already are created perfectly, and that is happening right now. That is in full swing right now. It means only that you can elect what to take when. It is just because you are not ready to do what you should elect to do that time exists at all. You need to be ready to receive this. Okay, so you need to be ready to receive this. Otherwise, yeah, something seems to be going against your will, and that's not happening. So you have your you won't option. You're not going to do it. You're just simply not going to do it. You wait. You wait. You choose to wait until you don't. And then it's like, my will is one with God. Here's my free will, my free choice to let love come to me, and to recognize that love is coming to me. I give it away to my brother, to everyone I meet, and I wait for the reflections to come back to me, that I've willing witnesses of the love that is given me. How great is that? That is what you do. That is what you give me. That's what you show me. Can you imagine how excited I am that this is actually occurring? That I get to the point where that is returning to me? That's so great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. That is real. That's real. It's like the fulfillment of Scripture. It is the glory of God. It's the fulfillment of Scripture. This day is holy. My relationship with you is holy. That what you give me, I have given to you, and you have given that to me. And that we recognize our oneness. How wonderful is that? How lovely. What incredible. Wow. So, yeah. Welcome home is all I can say. It's like, welcome home, because this is the accomplishment of it, and that's being confirmed all the time, just because it's time to do that. It's time to let it occur. It's time to let it be a full experience of yourself. How lovely is that? How great. So thank you for that. I love it.